The Apple Card is now available to almost everyone in the US, and it's definitely getting plenty of hype. With that slick white titanium card and the purchase tracking and the security features, it's easy to understand why you might want it. But it's still a MasterCard credit card backed by a big multinational bank, and before you apply for it, you should really ask yourself these 5 questions. The first question to ask yourself before you apply for an Apple Card is, do you intend to fully pay off this card every month? The Apple Card interest rate is between 13% and 24%, and that's low for a cashback card, but it's not at all low compared to other credit cards that don't have rewards. The Apple Card interest rate can easily be 5 to 10% higher than a card you might get that has no rewards. Just like any other cashback rewards card, you should not use the Apple Card if you can't pay off every purchase within a month. Once you start paying interest, you wipe out the entire cashback amount and then some. The next question to ask is, how's your credit? Should you really open up a new line of credit? Consumers these days have more credit from more sources than they used to, so opening up a new line of credit won't necessarily kill your FICO score. And they don't really punish you for multiple credit inquiries for home or auto or student loans. But if you get several new credit cards in a short time, your credit rating may suffer. And if your credit rating wasn't very good to begin with, getting more credit is not the answer. At the very least, people with credit problems should consider closing out other credit card accounts before you get a new one, and shop around for a card that will save you money on interest and fees before you worry about rewards. Maybe that other card isn't going to be as cool as the Apple Card, but if you're trying to rebuild your credit, cool may be a luxury you can't afford. Third question. Do you rely on budgeting apps like Mint or YNAB? If so, I have bad news for you. Apple's support page confirms that, and I quote, exporting data from Apple Card to a financial app like Mint is not currently supported. That it says not currently supported gives me hope that you'll be able to do this in the future, but there's no telling if or when that'll happen. Now, Apple Card does have some great features to track spending built right into the Wallet app, but it's just for Apple Card. You can't tie all your spending and income sources together. Oh, and also you have to pay your Apple Card bill with your iPhone. It's kind of crazy, but you can't yet look at your transactions or pay your bill just by logging into a website. Another question to consider, do you travel a lot? The Apple Card doesn't have any foreign transaction fees, which is good if you travel internationally. And Apple Pay support is common in some places, but less common in others. Ultimately though, people who travel a lot can get much more valuable rewards from travel-specific credit cards. Whether it's miles, priority status, free bag checking, car rentals, hotels, frequent travelers can save a lot more than the equivalent of 2% cash back from Apple Card. Plus, travel cards often have useful perks like travel insurance. So if you only take a couple trips a year, you're better off with the Apple Card cashback. But if you're on a plane every month and you don't already have a travel rewards credit card, you should really start there. And finally, ask yourself this. How often do you actually use Apple Pay? Do you tap your iPhone to a terminal at nearly every store, or at least could you if you wanted to? Anytime you pull out that titanium card, you're only getting 1% cashback, which is worse than many other cashback cards. You have to use Apple Pay, either from an online store that supports it or by tapping your iPhone to earn that 2%. Now you may have answered no to most of these, but that doesn't mean you should necessarily avoid the Apple Card. If opening up another line of credit isn't going to hurt you at all, there's no harm in adding it to your wallet and using it only when you make purchases from Apple. You'll get 3% cash back on any app or in-app purchase, on subscriptions like Apple Music, iCloud, or Apple Arcade, even on the fee for a developer accounts. Plus, of course, anything you buy from the Apple Store, either online or in person. So even if you're better off making most of your day-to-day purchases with some other card, it could make a lot of sense to have the Apple Card on your Apple account just to get 3% back on those things. That is, of course, only if your credit rating and history can easily shrug off adding another line of credit.